Hey everyone, Code here. Starfall Season 2 is kicked off to a great start, and so far we just had our first major event of the season, with it being the Villager one, where we go ahead and fought to actually get the ability to trade with our villagers now. So, I'm going to show you a few clips and kind of explain the story of kind of what went on during all that. So, hope you enjoy. Upon spawning in, Vagel, the Lord of Winter, was immediately rushed by a giant group of players. As you can see here. Alongside this, you can also see where I immediately went to, which was trying to trap him in a boat. Unfortunately, that didn't work. What you see right here is me being attacked by a player. Or at least what seems to be a player. That's not a player. That's an NPC that was kitted out in armor and stuff like that, which is literally just a copy of another player that was active on the server at that time. This happened multiple times throughout the fight, and so there were small groups that split off from the large group that was dealing damage to the boss to go on ahead and deal with these NPCs who were going around attacking people. Here you see a better example of those NPCs. I thought that I was being attacked by someone, but take a note that you don't see a rank above their name. That's how we all distinguish the NPCs from actual players. Here you go on ahead and hear Laughter figuring out that the difference between players and NPCs is that they didn't have ranks. Here's one of my favorites of the whole thing. They're not listening to an audiobook, they're listening to Orville the Hippo from Five Nights at Freddy's. Here you see people floating around in boats, skidding across the ice, and I just go on ahead and yell at them to at least attempt to trap the boss in a boat. Great advice. Throughout the fights, things like this would happen, where he'd go on ahead and teleport high up to places where, more than often, most players couldn't reach. And so there were times where, especially whenever he went on top of the arena walls, where the admins had to step in and actually deal damage to him for us, mostly to break his healing shield so that we would actually win the fight. Here's an example of him teleporting on top of the arena. Here's when Laughter goes on ahead and takes up the role of leader and starts leading everyone and coordinating the actual assault on the boss. And this is where I went on ahead and took my first death out of the 2 that I actually had throughout the fight. I tried to go on ahead and get back to the arena as quickly as possible to get back into the fight as well. And here's death number 2. I swear to God, whenever we were fighting him, those ice circles pulled you into them. It was about the time of my second death as well that we actually had gotten him down to half health. As you can see from his little health bar, he's at about 9.5 out of the 20 little segments he has. It was at about this point where we noticed that Fire Aspect would show which one was actually him, especially whenever he split off into multiple different parts, and so we had a small section of the group actually split off and kind of make sure to protect those that actually did have a flame bow or a Fire Aspect sword. Here's when people started to be a little bit annoying and actually started messing around with people by playing soundboards. With Laughter dealing the final blow, Vagel finally went down, ending what was a 40-minute fight. 40 minutes. Holy. Especially during the end of that, where I went on ahead and actually started sweating. But yeah, no, we didn't start actually dealing significant portions of damage to him and actually consistently keeping his health bar low until about 16 minutes into the fight. Which was, to say the least, something I haven't seen before. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you whenever I decide to go on ahead and post again, because it takes a lot of effort for me to go on ahead and choose to make a video and actually get it posted. But here's a final funny moment clip for you guys.
Until the sun warms up and they can, move around again. So I said to Orville, you might as well save those breadcrumbs until the birds thaw, because they can't very well enjoy them in the condition they're in. To which he asked what I meant, asking what condition the crumbs should be in before he threw them to the birds, assuming that it meant the birds couldn't